I've teamed up with Rotiform to make the most insane 3-piece custom rims. We're building up the anticipation right now. What's up? What in the world? You can see that the bolts are neon yellow, dude. This is so crazy. Oh! Boom! What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is the long-awaited suspension day for the Brat Bunny build. I've gotten so much crap about fitment on the car since I started the build. I know the fitment is so whacked, but there's a process that you have to do things, and before you can focus on spacers and custom rims and fitting them, you gotta tackle suspension. And finally, the day has come. We are doing suspension, y'all, and today I will be showing you guys the custom Air Struts that I had made by Universal Air Suspension. They are a company right here in Southern California, and I partnered with them to make some custom Air Struts for the RX8. I do have an amazing system coming from AccuAir for the car, but it is not here yet. But we can still simulate the system with external air in the Air Struts to adjust height and start on fitment, which I'm so excited about because you guys saw the rims. We are getting so close to putting those on, but this is the first thing we gotta tackle today. Ready for this? I just opened them, so I am seeing them for the first time as well. These things are gorgeous. I'm sure you can already see the hot pink coming through the bag. These are my custom Air Struts from Universal Air Suspension. I teamed up with them for my first journey into the world of bag suspension. These are massive. I've never had a car on bags, and I guess I never realized how big some of the bags are. Oh my gosh. These are my Air Struts. These were actually converted from coilovers to Air Struts. This is the spring from the original setup. They basically took the coilovers and replaced this spring with their bags. So now the height of the vehicle will be fully adjustable with my air management system. This gives you a lot more flexibility than maybe what air cups do. Usually air cups are just for temporary raising of maybe an inch or two, so not as much, and it's just temporary to go over a tiny bump and back down. But with these, I can fully slam the Brat Bunny. And like I said, this is my first ever car I've had on bags. That is the route that I chose to go for this build. Another thing that Universal Air had to customize for my setup was the top hats for the front. Front Air Struts actually needed a lot more clearance to make it work with the RX8 and not touch the actual sidewall. So Universal Air had to come up with just a modified top hat on this to give more clearance away from the actual chassis. The rear, it should be pretty simple. We should be able to just plug and play these babies right here. After I get the car on bags, we will be able to manually adjust the air in all of these so we can get an idea for fitment, get the car rolling, and finally lowered and off the stock suspension. So I cannot wait to get these on the Brat Bunny. So let's go. There she is. Still obviously missing the headlights and the taillights from when we visited Chris at Flyride. We will be getting these back really soon. I'm actually gonna start in the rear because the ones in the front, like I was telling you guys about, this custom top hat that was made to clearance the bag. That also means that we have to Dremel out or like port out the top area where this originally mounts to, and I will show you guys really quick what I am talking about. These are the original top hats that were on the coilovers, but the problem, you install it with the regular top hat, it doesn't give enough clearance underneath there for the pad itself to not rub against the frame. You can see kind of how it offsets where the bag itself ends up sitting. Because the top of the strut is going to be moved a little bit over here, I'm gonna have to port this or use a Dremel or something. So because of that, I'm actually gonna do the front last and start on the rear first. Oh, and I'm so excited to finally be working on suspension, which means fitment, which means we are even closer to putting the new custom rotiform rims on this car. Now, the reason why I keep saying there's an order that you have to do all this stuff is because specifically with this body kit, you cannot even put spacers behind the rims that I already have on. The tire would actually hit this. This kit is meant to be on a lowered car, but we didn't want to cut anything without having the correct suspension on and the correct rims that will actually be fitted to this vehicle. This is the next step, and I've never had a car on bags before, so I am so excited to do this. I've never actually swapped over the suspension on an RX8 before, so hopefully this isn't too bad, but we'll find out. This is a stock suspension, but it is upgraded to the Bilstein Sport suspension. This comes on the R3 edition. This is what we're going to be replacing. All right, so the interior carpeting is out so we can see what we're looking for here. So those are the 3 bolts that connect to the strut. Start by just disconnecting the top so that when I get to the bottom, it is ready to drop out. That 3rd bolt that I showed you actually goes up from the bottom. So that's the last one at the top. Just about to take that off. And then take the bolt off at the bottom of the strut right here. So I thought I could do it without removing any of the arms and just muscle it out, but that is not the case. You cannot do that on an RX8. So I had to remove the lower arm right here in order for this to have room to come out, as it kept hitting this. We got so close to trying to pry it out and it just was not working. So there was really no way around this, but that's what I did, and now it's about to fall out. Oh. Oh. There you go. Gosh, that was so annoying. Okay, so just don't try and muscle it out. Just take the arm off. It's the lower one in the rear. You take it off and bam, this thing can slide right out. That was so annoying. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, some old spider eggs. That's lovely.
Oh my gosh, let me see.
Yeah, you can see where we were like beating this up, trying to just pry it out, but oh well, we got it out. If you notice, like the discoloration on this is from when I plastic dipped the rims. These are actually perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't want this life anymore. I'm not about this life. I'm about badge life. So yeah, now we can get the new ones in, finally. One other thing I forgot to mention that I had to do was remove the rear sway bar and the end links. So here we have the comparison. This was what came stock on the car. And here we have our new universal air suspensions, Air Struts. Now there's just one more bolt left to secure the bottom. There you go, we got one side done. I'm just gonna finish reattaching this lower arm. I'm gonna leave the sway bar off because I need it off for the other side. Now that I actually know how to do this and the order of things, this time the very first thing I'm gonna do is disconnect the arm. And again, the sway bar is already removed. Boom! Woo! Okay, so we got both of the rear air struts on. I'm now gonna drop the car and we're gonna see if we can roll it.
But that was our 60.
Oh yeah, that's actually not that bad. Okay, so it's the next day, but it will feel like the same day for you guys because I'm putting this in the same video. We had to have a super important 3-rotor SEMA team meeting and that went well into 2 a.m. I'm back today. Rear is completely installed and now I'm going to be moving to the front. So I have one more part that I have not told you guys about yet that is going to be installed with the new badge in the front. This is going to allow for a lot more camber adjustment, which will help when we're trying to dial in wheel fitment, gives us more adjustability. So between the badge suspension and this, I'm hoping our fitment goals can be met. This is it. This is from Godspeed, which is the same company that I got the original coilovers from that were converted into the air struts. Like how I'm just throwing stuff.
So intense. Ooh, look at them ruby reds.
Boom. I do wish they were pink though, but it's fine for now. This is the camber kit from Godspeed. Like I said, it's gonna help us reach our fitment goals with this setup. And these are just installed in the front on each side, replacing the upper arms. So I can show you a better comparison when we have the rims off and we are disconnecting everything to install the air struts. I will put these on, I guess first or second, I don't know. We're just gonna see, how it goes when we're taking stuff apart and go from there. But yes, I will be installing these along with our new air struts. Huge holdup because we had to go out and get one of these tools, rent one, to then get this off. That is finally done. Now I can take this strut out. 2 in 1. Put the air strut on first and then the new arm. We're gonna have to cut a little bit right here off. And I'm just gonna start cutting a little bit at a time. Oh no, I'm still touching. Man, it is like barely touching right at the edge there. It fits. Everything is completely tightened. Put this brace back on. It's not the prettiest right now, but I can always smooth that out and paint over it later. I can now put the new arms on. These two colors actually look really good together. Have clearance. Dre and Matt already started on this side. Bam. And then the last thing that I have to do on this side is connect the 17 at the bottom, and then we are done. Done! Brat Bunny is officially on bags. Good job.
Thanks.
Hopefully, since the strut is maxed out, hopefully when we put the wheels on and the car down, it doesn't go all the way to the top. Here we go. Oh! Got lots of room. Oh, 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 wait.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That was like just enough room right there. We on bags, yo. One step closer to fitment day. Wow. It's raised 4 inches and we got 4 inches. So when this thing is slammed, it's gonna be slammed. I feel like I should do a ceremony burning these or something, saying goodbye to my old way of life, starting my new life on bags, but I guess I don't have to be that dramatic. It's no longer the life I choose.